Hello everybody, I am Renzo Mocs, and welcome back to yet another mock review. Today I'm taking a look at another mock from my self-mock. This is actually my self-mock's personal escort. This is the Sky Jumper. Now the Sky Jumper is an interesting project, but before I actually get into it, I'm going to take Renzo off and I'm going to give you a walkthrough and also kind of explain its backstory and how this came to be. So I'm just going to cut right into it. So here we have the Sky Jumper itself in its full form and with Renzo removed and all that good stuff. So a little backstory behind this, then I'll get into why I built this in the first place. So the actual backstory on this vehicle myself is actually Renzo's second form of transport. This is a little ship that he keeps inside his bigger ship that is basically a small transport vehicle. Basically the size has been shrunken down a little bit. I wanted to make this originally like dropship Hero Factory size, but I like this. I think it's fine. I think it works well for what I was trying to do. Just build a little bit of a sci-fi looking ship that, I don't know. You guys tell me if it works or not. I think it's okay, but you know, it's all up to you guys. It's really all about your opinions. So now that I give you a 360, now a little bit of a story on why I built this. So I was looking at Metro Nui Legacy's newest poster. In case you don't know, he's an awesome guy. He does great videos. But anyways, he did this poster for a Kimu poster that was basically a G2 version of Takanuva. So it was the Takanuva set box, like with him, with the staff, with the light in the background, and with the vehicle in the background, the Usanui. So basically, he built one of those, and I was thinking I wanted to build my own version for Chronicles. Now, it might still be in Chronicles, but I have no idea. Right now, I think it's fine, because I don't really want to build a G2 Usanui yet. Maybe later in the future, but not right now. So, anyways, yeah, that's just a little backstory. I was trying to build it, and then it led into something else, and then I built this, and I'm like, you know what, let's just make it this random vehicle. So here we are. So the actual design of it is pretty simple. It's basically just this big, black, large, flying, hovering thing. As you can see, there's a few things. I did add little stands here. Oh, sorry. That's one problem. The ship does tend to break a lot. Like, everything's kind of connected by these two pieces, so once that kind of splits off, everything starts to kind of fall apart. So I think I gotta fix that connection a little better because it's not the best. But there are little stands that hold this thing up, which would be impossible to pose this thing without, because removing it, that's a good pose. You can kind of get it like on a leaning pose. That's all right. But bringing both of them up, there are just kind of two axles up there, and I don't think it's too bad. But anyways, what's wrong with that? Well, nothing wrong, but the way that I designed one of the main features of this thing, this always has to be down because of the feature. And in case, yeah, you can see a stud shooter. What, you just turn it? No, actually, because I made it super complicated. The actual stud shooter system, as you can see, by just looking in there, is through the entire body. So starting at this blue wheel, which, by the way, does turn. So if it's laying down, as you can see, it kind of sticks out at the bottom. If it is laying down and I roll it, then the studs will blast everywhere. But that's not the main feature. You're not supposed to roll it and then the studs go everywhere. The actual main feature is turning all the way back to this ball joint. Yes, there's just one ball joint here that does everything. So you turn that ball joint, stud shoots out. So it's actually not that bad. I think it's an alright feature. I think it does its job well. Yeah, I think it works okay. So, just a really simple feature, but if you guys want to get a good look at how I made that, you could just see it's basically I think it's two long axles that just go all the way through here. Technically, yeah, 3 axles. You can just see, and that's why laying it down, because if you turn that, it'll just shoot off the studs, which is kind of unfortunate for the way I designed it. This will definitely be getting a redesign in the future, but right now I think it's okay. I don't think it's super special. As you can see, there are winglets that are always posed wrong, and that's just because of the way that these thrusters are. There's also one big winglet back there, and they have studs on them. The actual color scheme was supposed to be trans light blue, but then kind of switched over to trans dark blue as well, which is fine because there is dark blue in Renzo's color scheme. which kind of fits the blue aesthetic. But you're probably wondering why there is a blue half pin axle right in there. Well, that is for Renzo's squiff gun, which basically you can put right there, which kind of defeats the purpose of the stud shooter, but it's still there, it's still an option, you can still put that in there, and it looks okay. Wish it was black, but oh well. The actual thrusters themselves, as you can see, aren't that complex. They're just these two big tire pieces with these gray pieces in there and all these studs. And as you can see, yes, I do use these Lord of Skull Spider fin pieces as more stands to hold this thing up. Originally, it was supposed to be these front two stands, but I didn't want to move them down every time you had to keep this thing on a stand. So I'm going to bring in Renzo and just give you a basic comparison, and then we will end off the video. So here is Renzo on the Sky Jumper. As you can see, it's pretty, he kind of just fits right on there. There's not really any room. It really is supposed to be one of those small vehicles that he'll just pull out of the docking bay and is basically a very easy, very basic searching vehicle. So he would basically be like, in case he wants to investigate an area, he just goes along in this thing. So, honestly, that's pretty much it. He's very large in the vehicle itself, but I think it's fine because it is just a speeder. Like, it doesn't have to be really large. This is basically as accurate as I have to get. One thing that I would change are these horns. I think they kind of look Jestro-y from Nexonites. It's just my opinion. I think they look incredibly large and out of place. But tell me what you guys think of it. Obviously, my opinion is not what matters because this is my... Oh, sorry about that. My opinion doesn't really matter. This is my mock, and I want to know what you guys think. Basically, there is Renzo, or Renzolian, in the Sky Jumper. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's get on to the overall, sort of. So overall, this was just kind of a throw together to see what kind of sticks at the wall. I kind of like this model, and I think I'll keep it built for a while, but until I decide to redesign it with a version 2.0 design, which I will do in the future, probably pretty soon, probably towards the summer of this year. I'll probably take this one apart and do a redesign, because I do like the idea of Renzo having a small little spaceship, and this is just kind of one of his small vehicles. And yeah, I think I enjoy the build of this one. It's not super complex or anything, but it was fun. So yeah. Oh, also one bad thing I wanted to note is that he does not have a sword, or there's no place to hold his sword, which is incredibly disappointing because he's got to drive with both hands. So I guess you can kind of shove the sword in the middle part there, but that's just incredibly awkward. So yeah, that's the one problem I have about this set, or not set, sorry. That's the one problem I have with this mock. Anyways, if you guys want to see even more mock reviews, there's more coming out on the League of 7 member mocks that I made. So there's a Tommy review, there's a Royce review, Wanderer review. All those are coming out pretty soon. Yeah, so just look forward for that, I guess. And until the next time, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Renzo Mocs, and salutations.